everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and today we are making more page kits or paper kits from our paper pads. Today we are focusing on 3 paper pads from Park Lane, which can be bought at Joann's. I have in front of me Trendy Florals, Spring Garden, and Botanicals. So without further ado, let's get into these. So whenever I try and break apart a paper pad, I always try to start with just the paper pad itself, and then whatever I can't make work, I throw in with my regular stash, and then from there I make other page kits from my regular stash, if that makes sense. Now, why do I break apart paper pads? For a couple of reasons. One, I never go and look at them. That's the biggest one. They sit on a shelf. I just don't naturally gravitate towards them. 2, I am lazy. So if I can go and pick out some pre-sorted cardstock to do my layout, that's what I'm going to do. It's just quick and simple and easy to flip through, find what I'm looking for, pull them out, have 3 or 4 sheets already together, and away I go. So let's talk about Trendy Florals. Usually I start with an inspiration sheet. It's usually multicolored. In this case, I have this really pretty floral. I've been noticing a trend with a lot of this dark background, and I kind of like it. It's something different. Oh, and by the way, these paper pads are double-sided. So in this case, I actually combined it with the backside. So I'm getting 2 of the sheets in the same kit, and I did that deliberately because I like to do 2-page spreads every now and then, and this way, if I have 2 of the same sheets, I usually have enough to do a 2-page spread. And then I also combined it with the pink, which on the other side is this cut apart. Now, I'm not thrilled with this cut apart. It doesn't do much for me, but I'm okay with the pink side, and I think that looks really great. And then I did add another black piece in here with this light, I don't know if you could see, it's got like a cream dot on it. It's a very small scale pattern compared to this very bold floral, so I think that works. I would love to have some cream or a cream based in here, but I just didn't do it for this one. But normally that's how I would go about creating my kits. Here's my inspiration sheet. Again, this is a very bright and colored floral. The back side of it is a black. I combined it with this green. On the back side of that is this dot, so that both of those work. Here's the example of where I was telling you that I would have preferred a cream with that other one. I did add that in here, and it has this really small pink floral. Again, the scale of this is very tiny compared to this. Now, I would consider this a medium-sized print, or medium size scale. This is tiny, and then the one before would have been a large. Another one of those cut aparts, but I picked it for the pink side. Throw that in there. And this kit is mega. I also threw in this dark pink. And again, the scale on this to this is very similar, but because this reads more like a solid, I'm okay with that. And then I also threw in another one of these. This is probably enough for 2 2-page spreads. Here's another large floral print. I combined that with this turquoisey green. The back side has this purpley color, and this has got like a purpley stripe on cream. There's not really any purple in this particular pattern, but it is the back side. It is what it is. If you flip this over, even though it does have a purple hue to it, I think it still works. Like, it's such a tiny amount that you're not going to notice with all the other colors in here that it's not an exact match. I also combined it with this wiggly stripe just for some interest. So a solid, another pattern, and then this is probably like a medium scale to me, and then this large. And the back side of this is a cream. So this one's a twofer. Okay, so for this page kit, we're starting with this dark floral. It's probably a medium scale, I would consider that. I threw in this yellow. It is solid yellow. The back side of it is a pink, small pink floral on cream, which works really well with this as well. I then added this purpley pink stripe. I think that looks really great. and this pink stripe, squiggly stripe. Normally I wouldn't combine two stripes in a kit, but because this is squiggly-ish and looks like leaves, I'm okay with that. And then I have the purple side. So this was from the same one from the previous kit, but I did pull it for the purpley color because even though this color really technically isn't in here, the pink, dark pink and blue together can read a little purple. So I just thought that might be kind of fun. And if not, I basically have the same kit here again like I had in the one earlier. And then I threw in this aqua mint color as a final sheet. So this is a pretty big kit. Again, probably multiple spreads out of that one. This insect print was the inspiration for the next one. I used both sheets that came in the paper pad for this kit because I really liked the pink that went with this. I pulled in this blue and also this purpley pink for a little bit of contrast because there's, you know, it's starting to look all very similar, but for real punch of power, I threw in this black. And so that is the last kit. Now you'll notice some of these kits are larger. Like I said, they have like 5 or 6 pages, and I'm okay with that, obviously. And I did that on purpose so that I have enough for multiple spreads. And I have no leftover cardstock from this kit, so everything is in a page kit. Okay, so the next kit is Park Lane Botanicals. This one has some really beautiful watercolor florals, which is what sold me on it. So I have this multicolor watercolor floral. I added this deep, small scale floral print with it. And that is it. I'm keeping this one super simple, just the two. If you flip it over, I don't really care for this side at all. And the back side of this one is blue. I don't really care for that one either. But I think the two of these work really well, and I don't feel the need for any more because this print, I just love this print so much. I don't want to cover, or at least right now, I don't think I want to cover much of it. Here's that same print, but this time I combined it with this watercolor blue. Really like how that looks. This side has a blue floral, which I think is really pretty as well. I just don't care for it with this particular cardstock. So it's probably going to be the same kind of deal where this is going to probably be a background or maybe a layering piece, and then we'll let this piece of paper shine. This is a very pinky floral, medium scale. Combine that with the watercolor. And again, I only have 2 sheets here, partially because I think that's all I need, and also because that's just how it worked out. Here is another watercolor floral. This is a very large scale print, so I combined it with this small scale pink. There is some pink in here, so I think I can make that work. I also threw in this navy, and I guess it's navy cardstock, kind of as the contrasting piece. This is a very bright, smaller scale floral. I added this coral piece to it, and just the 2 sheets. This side has this really bright blue, or reads bluey purple, and this side has this blue. So I know that this pink and this blue work great, and so I think that is going to be a great little kit. Speaking of which, I combined it for this. So even though this was in the previous kit, I am going to face these up the way that I intend to use them, or thinking I'm going to use them. The back sides are just a bonus. Have another pretty watercolor floral. Combine that with this small black, just again for contrast, and that's it. The back side has this this yellow golden floral, which will work with that. So this is kind of a 2-for piece. And then this one here has a small floral cream background, which I probably won't end up using because I like the front sides. I like the front page much better. Here's that same print again, this time with the small pink. And I threw in that blue watercolor. So if you look at it this way. So I'm envisioning this probably as the base, this as some sort of accent, and then this some sort of layering piece. That's typically how I work. This is a really bright piece of paper. I'm not sure how quick I would use this, but it was in the kit, so I'm going to challenge myself. I would probably just my gut instinct would tell me that if I'm going to use this, I would probably use this with a black and white photo just to help tone it down a little bit. I paired it with this turquoise color as well as this small black floral, so can go either which way. And again, I put 3 sheets in here, but that doesn't mean you have to use all 3 sheets. So for instance, this is very bright and happy, and this actually tones it down a little bit. Is that fair to say? It makes it a little bit more formal, I find, with the black, even though this is, you know, such a bright color. That is the end of the page kits. I do have some cardstock left over, not very much. I have another one of those, that one. And so these will go in my stash. Now, just looking at these, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. When these go in my stash, I will look at both sides and decide which side I'm more likely to use. So I think I'd probably be more likely to use that one. I'm more likely to use that one. And I'm more likely to use this one. So when I go to sort this into my regular stash, these are the 3 sides that I'm going to look at. So this would probably go in under like a red, probably. Ready, yeah. And this will go under the turquoise, and then this will probably go under purple or pink, probably purple. Okay, let's move on to the last paper pad. Okay, so the last one is Spring Garden. My inspiration is this hexagon piece of paper. It's very interesting because it has different patterns within the hexagons, and it's kind of all quilted together, which I thought was kind of fun. And I combined that with this pink, small pink floral, as well as this black foiled polka dot. If you look at the other sides. So basically, these 2 sheets of paper are the same. I cheated. And then I could use this with this, but I did pick it for the black floral. For this layout here, I combined this with this pink tone on tone, and then this green that has the words on it. It's got all different flower names on there. And then I also added this striped foil. We flip this over, lo and behold, we've got the same pattern, right? Black stripe and green. And this has got like a navy, which this and this would go together. So there's lots of combinations of this one, let me tell you. Lots of possible combinations. For this one, I started with this small multicolored floral, added this pink words with the flowers. I also threw in this white with aqua dots just to break it up a little bit. And then, even though there's a lot of aqua going on here already, I did throw in this honeycomb aqua cardstock as well, because I thought this would make a great base page. And then you all know by now, I love my contrast, so I threw in this black and white stripe. That is what it's looking like. So this is a bigger kit. There's 5 sheets. And this is what it looks like on the other side. So there is a cut apart in here. I wasn't too thrilled with the cut apart, but you know, if you flip it over, you've got, again, lots of possibilities. Another floral piece, combined it with the pink tone on tone dot, the honeycomb hexagon aqua paper, and the striped foil. This one we started with this darker floral, threw in the orange words with all the flowers on there, added a green, and then because this is all like, I always call this flat, I don't know if that even makes any sense, like these two are very similar to me in intensity. Is that the right word? I don't even know if that's the right word. Tone or values. I don't know all the technical terms, you guys. I'm not one of those. I just know what I like. So these are very similar. And then those colors are in here. And so I just need a little bit more contrast, which I talk about all the time. And that is why I'm throwing in this honeycomb foil in white. And I just think that breaks things up a little bit and just makes it more interesting. I sound like a broken record, don't I? Add contrast. Okay, so we got another floral. that honeycomb again with the white, and then a aqua floral. And then I did throw in a second foil sheet. Normally I wouldn't, because I think it's very easy to go overboard on the foil, but it was the only piece left over, and you know, it gave me that dark hit of dark that I like to have. So that, we'll throw that over here, is the last kit. And I used up every single piece of paper, so there's nothing going into my stash. They're all going into page kits. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you put together paper kits as well, let me know what you do. Like, do you have a formula? Do you have a method how you approach putting papers together? How many papers do you put together? If you haven't, is there a reason why you're not interested? Like, is it something that you just think doesn't save any time? You know, just tell me all the things. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, happy crafting.